Welcome. My name is Kyra, and I'm so glad that you are here for a short yin yoga class for Libra season. We are going to be focusing on the Bladder Meridian today. I'm going to talk you through this as we move throughout today's class. So we're going to start off in a reclined butterfly position. I've got two blocks here underneath my bolster. One block is on the medium setting, the other block is on the low setting, and then bringing the bolster down on top so it's on a bit of an incline. You can, of course, play around with the blocks, with the height settings in the blocks. You can even remove the blocks and just have your bolster. We're going to come around with our tailbone, maybe just an inch or two away from the bolster. Bring the soles of the feet together into a butterfly position, knees are out wide. If you've got any extra props that you want to use here to support the legs, feel free to do so. An extra block underneath each leg can be really supportive here, an extra bolster. And then you're coming all the way down to lie onto your back, onto the bolster. Arms can rest out by the sides, and you can close down the eyes here as you settle in. As you settle in here to your reclined butterfly pose, if the hips or the knees start to protest too much, feel free to extend the legs out long so you're instead in a reclined goddess pose. You find what feels best for you. We're here for a few moments as we settle in to our yin yoga practice. Let's begin by closing down the eyes or softening the gaze if you have not already. We'll start to ground down our energy by using the breath. Take a deep, full breath in through the nose. Feel the belly rise. And a slow breath out through the nose, releasing all the air out of the breathing chambers. Deep, full breath into the diaphragm, the lungs. Bring the breath all the way up to the collarbones. And exhaling, releasing all the air out of the breathing chambers. Slowing down the breath here, taking deep, full breaths in. And slow breaths out. As you welcome yourself onto the mat, start to let go of any tension that you might still be holding on to. With each exhale breath, just let the body relax that little bit more. Let go of any tension out of the shoulders, the hips, and the face becomes soft and relaxed. A sense of inner peace as you rest here for the next few moments. Libra season is a time of cultivating inner peace, balance, and harmony. One way that we can do that is through ensuring that our energetic pathways, our meridians, are flowing freely. Yin yoga is a beautiful practice to work with those energetic pathways to ensure that our prana, our chi, our energy can flow freely and harmoniously. We'll commit to stillness here for just another moment or so. I'll let you know when it's time to move out. Take one last deep full breath in here. Exhale it out. And start to wriggle the fingers, maybe start to blink open the eyes as you come back into your body. Stay lying down on the bolster. You can use your hands here to slowly shift the knees back upright, letting the feet down on the mat. And then from here, you can take a few windshield wiper actions, gently bringing the knees to one side and then over to the other side, finding a bit of gentle release there through the hips, releasing out from that long held pose. Then from here, we're going to move our way on up to a seated position. If it feels good for you, you can use the hands beside the body to push your way on up. Otherwise, feel free to meet your way on up in any way that works for you. As we work our way on up, we'll just move our props over to the side so they're out of the way as we prepare for our next pose. So we're going to come into a half butterfly pose for our next shape. So I'll invite you to find a seat on the mat with both legs out long. And then from here, just relaxing the legs. You might like to here, just bring the hands down by the sides of the body. Just raise the sit bones off the mat and then ground back down onto the mat. So from here, we're going to bend our left knee. Bring your knee up towards the body and then bring the left knee down over to the left. The left foot can rest against the right thigh or wherever it feels good there against your right leg. There's no right or wrong here. Just let that right leg become soft and relaxed. The foot is flopped out to the side, soft bend through the knee. We're going to come into a forward fold here. So there's a few ways that you may like to use your props to support you. The first thing to think about is if your left knee is up quite high, if you want a little bit of support here, you can bring a block underneath your left knee, underneath your left thigh, and that's just going to support that left leg. As you come into the forward fold, you may like to use some props here in front. You may like to just stack a block maybe on the high setting on the inside of the right leg, and maybe that creates enough height for you to comfortably rest your head down. If that's not enough height, you can use your bolster here. One way that you may like to use your bolster is to stack it so that the end of your bolster is down towards your right foot somewhere, and then you can rest your head on the other edge of the bolster. This may depend on how firm your bolster is as well. It might not work. Alternatively, you can hug the bolster and just let the chin or forehead rest down on the edge of the bolster. You can also just bring the bolster on top of the leg, stack a block on top. You're free to use the props in any way that feels good for you. So finding what feels good for you, what feels supportive here. As you come into the forward fold, we're trying to let the body stay relaxed here. Letting go of any tension out of the body. You're not finding an active stretch here. You're letting gravity do the work here for you in this forward fold. Yin yoga is not about how deep you can go into the pose. It's not about stretching at your maximum. Instead, we want to maybe only stretch to 50 or 60% of our capacity here. Allowing the body to feel supported by the props as you sink into the shape. So throughout today's class, we are focusing on the Bladder Meridian. And you might be starting to feel the Bladder Meridian being activated here. The Bladder Meridian begins from the inner eyes. So just draw your awareness now to the inner eyes, kind of like the bridge of your nose. And then from here, the Bladder Meridian runs over the forehead. So imagine two lines coming up from the inner eyes, over the forehead, over the crown of the head, all the way down the back of the head, the back of the neck, running all the way down the back of the body. Then each line goes down the back of each leg. And then it does a circle around the ankle before the Bladder Meridian ends at the little toe on each foot. As we stay here in our half butterfly pose for the next moment or so, I invite you to just bring your awareness to the Bladder Meridian. From the inner eye, down the back of the body, back of the legs, ending at the little toe. Let's stay here for one more deep full breath in. Exhale out that breath slowly. And then maybe taking hold of any props as you gently inhale and work yourself back upright, taking your time, moving slowly. From here, we can move any props over to the side so they're out of the way again. Taking any props that you may have used. From here, we'll bring our left knee on up. Feel free to use your hands. Just bring the left foot down in front. You can bend the right knee. Again, you can use your hands to assist. Bring the hands around behind you for a bit of support as you take a few gentle windshield wiper actions, gently releasing out any tension from the hips, from the legs. You're welcome to find any other gentle stretch or movement here that feels good for your body as well. And then from here, we're going to set ourselves up for caterpillar pose. So we're meeting with both legs out in front, feet are around hip width distance apart or thereabouts. Soft bend through the knees, let the feet become soft and relaxed. Just let the legs become loose and floppy. So from here, we've got another forward fold. Again, just make sure that you're grounding down onto the sit bones. If you need to lift yourself up and re-ground the sit bones down, feel free to do so. So from here, you may like to set yourself up with some props in front to support you in that forward fold. Again, just creating enough height here so that the body feels supported without straining the body, without forcing the body into the forward fold. So you might like to stack some blocks in between the legs, maybe 2 blocks to create a bit of a headrest. That might feel like enough. It may not be enough height again. If you want a little bit more height, you can bring the blocks maybe either side of the legs and then bring your bolster on top. So you've got a bit of a bench over the legs. Here you might like to stack the arms on top of your bolster and rest the head down on top of your arms. That might feel great. You can always have the bolster in front, maybe bringing the bolster between the legs and just resting the head down, or hugging the bolster, resting it under the chin, whatever feels good here. If you're struggling with this pose, particularly if you have the tight hamstrings, if you've got a lot of tension through that Bladder Meridian, you might like to bend your knees and slide the bolster underneath the knees, and that's going to take all of that tension out of the legs and make that forward fold a little bit easier. And if you're taking that option, you may like to use your blocks in front for a bit of a headrest. So again, not forcing yourself into the forward fold, you're letting gravity do the work here for you. Just letting the arms become relaxed, letting the back of the body become relaxed. And the whole body rest in this shape. We're just here for a few moments. The Bladder Meridian can be associated with things like anxiety and headaches. When we might have blockages within that Bladder Meridian, is anything going along that energetic pathway that might be blocking the energy or hindering the flow. We might find ourselves feeling a bit anxious. We might be worried. As a result, we may have things like headaches or even vision problems. You notice that you have any of these symptoms, and maybe working with the Bladder Meridian can be helpful. Just doing some of these poses that we're doing in today's class. Leave you here for another moment or so. I'll let you know when it's time to move out. we'll take one last deep full breath here on our caterpillar pose. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, you can slowly return your way back upright to a seated position, taking your time, rolling your way on up slowly, being mindful of any props. As you work your way on up, you can remove any props out of the way, pop them carefully over to the side so that they're out of the way. And you can bend the knees here, bring the knees up, feet round, hip width distance apart or a little bit wider as you take a few windshield wiper actions here. Finding a bit of release out of the hips, finding a bit of gentle movement. And then from here, when you're ready to move on, we'll meet with our legs out long. And here we're moving back into our half butterfly shape, but on the other side. So your left leg is going to stay straight or straightish. Soft bend through that left knee. Just let the left foot become soft and relaxed. Flop it over to the side. From here, we'll bend our right knee and then draw the right knee down over to the right. The right foot is going against the left thigh or wherever it feels good against that left leg. There's no right or wrong here. From here, you may like to use a block or any other prop underneath your right thigh or knee for a bit of support. And again, we're going to come into that forward fold. So you've got your choice of prop options here. You may like to, depending again on how firm your bolster is, it might work well as a headrest. You can hug the bolster, let the chin rest down on the bolster. You can bring the bolster down on top of the leg and maybe stack your other block on top for a bit of a headrest. You find whatever feels good here for your body. Again, just trying to keep the legs soft and relaxed, letting go of any tension. Again, not forcing yourself into this shape. Just letting the body become soft and relaxed. You can close down the eyes. The bladder meridian is associated with the emotion of fear. If we notice that fear is the emotion that comes up in our life quite a lot, then it can be a sign that there may be some imbalance or blockage within the bladder or kidney meridians. If you've been feeling afraid of change, fearful of what the future might hold, or feeling fear creep in any other way. Again, working with the bladder meridian as we're doing here can help to release that emotion out of the body. Release the fear, allowing the body to be more at peace, find harmony within. As we stay here for the next moment or so, I'll invite you to explore where fear might be holding you back in life. Has fear been coming up for you lately? Using this next moment or so to release that fear, let it go. take a deep, full breath in through the nose. And a slow breath out through the nose. On your next inhale, slowly working your way back upright, being mindful of any props. As you work your way on up, you can carefully move any props over to the side, out of the way. From here, you can use your hands to slowly bring your right knee on up, plant the right foot down. You can bend the left knee, bring the left foot up close towards the body. Hands to come around behind the body as you take a few gentle windshield wiper actions, gently releasing out any tension from the hips, or find any other gentle movement or stretch here that feels good for you. And then from here, we're going to work our way down into Shavasana. For your Shavasana today, you can use your bolster underneath the knees, placing your bolster down towards the bottom of your mat, bringing your legs over the top of your bolster. If you find that when you lie down, your feet aren't quite reaching at the mat, to ground down through the feet, you may like to bring blocks on the low setting, just over the bolster so that you've got a bit of grounding there for your feet. And then you're working your way down onto your back, feeling free to use any other props here, a blanket, an eye pillow, or anything else to make your Shavasana feel comfortable. And you're welcome to find any other comfortable position for your Shavasana today. Closing down the eyes as you settle in, relaxing the body. Letting the fingers become soft and relaxed. I'm clenching the hands. Letting the shoulders soften and relax as they melt down into the mat. Letting the back of the body feel supported with the props and the mat underneath you. Here, connect to your inner peace. Find a sense of inner peace here as you rest here in stillness for these next few moments. Please enjoy, and I'll let you know when it's time to move out. Start to come back into your body, maybe wriggling the fingers, maybe wriggling the toes. Taking a deep full breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Maybe stretching out the arms, stretching out the legs. Take your full body stretch. And when you're ready, you can slowly roll your way on over to your favorite side. Take a moment here to pause and rest. Keeping eyes closed with a soft gaze, you can begin to slowly work your way on up to any comfortable seated position, taking your time, moving slowly, finding any comfortable seat as you arrive. We'll meet with the hands together in prayer position and Jali Mudra, thumbs resting against the heart center. We'll bow the head down towards the hands, giving yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up on the mat, for finding your inner peace. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Pranam. Thank you. If you enjoyed today's Yin Yoga class, be sure to check out my online full-length classes in Flow of the Moon, my monthly yoga membership. You'll find the link in the notes below. And if Yin Yoga is really calling for you, make sure you check out my Yin Yoga teacher training where you can become a certified Yin Yoga teacher too. See you again soon. Bye for now.